There's 3 categories: game announcement, gameplay showcase, and full release. A correct prediction in each category will reward 3 points. If a single game is listed between multiple categories, and both categories are claimed by the same player, they will be rewarded as expected for each correct prediction. However, if 2 different players mark separate categories for the same game, and both predictions are fulfilled, a special case can occur. In this case, the party that bet towards the riskier category will not only gain 3 points, but will also claim the points placed on the safer category. If the higher risk bet does not come true, while the lower risk bet does, then the alternative bet will be rewarded regularly. Since the bets featured in this video were recorded back in December of last year, some of the results have already been spoiled. These circumstances will be highlighted by special meaningless symbols. In the case where a bet is made that will not come true, it will be represented by this green symbol. In the case that a bet does come true, it'll be represented by this meaningless transparent symbol.
I'm gonna go RE Village.
Liam chose Resident Evil Village release.
I think it's an easy collab. Like, I feel like I've seen so much footage about it, and it's supposed to come out this year. I don't foresee it getting like pushed off.
That's definitely one of the free ones, I think. They said it would come out in 2021, and I think it's only just here for like the slim possibility that it might get delayed. Which I don't think will happen, because they have like other Resident Evil games planned for this year.
Yeah, that's why I picked it. I thought it was pretty free.
I'm not even sure why I wrote it. This is where you have the advantage, right? Because I wrote everything down, and I forgot everything I wrote, but you're looking at it with fresh eyes, so you can immediately go, oh, that's obviously releasing. Hold on. This is going to be edited pretty intensely, I feel like. Because I'm going to take time to think. I really want to win this. I don't want to look like an idiot next year. Oh, well, actually, this is like... This has to be free. This isn't even the release. This is the gameplay.
Frennick chose Breath of the Wild sequel gameplay.
I think this game is coming out this year, but since you picked an actually, like, practically confirmed item, now I'm getting antsy and feel like I need to pick the most obvious thing. And this is also a category where if you put L below it, then you potentially just made 9 points off the bat. You know what I mean? From Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But I'm playing it safe and saying there's no way they announced Breath of the Wild 2 3 years ago, or however long ago it was, probably less, and then not showing gameplay for 2 whole years. Especially because it's the anniversary of Zelda this year, or next year. And they're probably going to drop Switch hardware, and they're going to want to hype up people, you know? They're going to want to show, even if it's not coming out for 2 more years, which I think will come out next year, but they're going to show it. I think that's going to happen.
Ready for this? Hot off the presses.
Snipe.
Liam chose Bayonetta 3 release.
Whoa!
I just feel like it's gonna come out. I just have a feeling, a hankering, it's gonna come out. Especially like with the Switch Pro. Wait, so is the Switch Pro rumored to come out this year?
It's pretty heavily rumored because everything's coming out in March right now. Like, that's Nintendo's favorite month right now, with Monster Hunter Rise, and the Mario games disappearing, and the Amiibo dropping.
I think Bayonetta 3 is gonna come out.
Yeah.
I feel like gameplay. I was gonna do gameplay because I feel like gameplay's a lock, but like I'm just gonna risk it.
Yeah, there's a lot of games I feel like Mario, they almost always show gameplay and release it on the same year, so that's why I didn't even put a gameplay category for it. But that's a good guess. I mean, we haven't seen it for so long. Literally, the only thing Camille will say about it is it's developing well, and I actually do believe him. Well, I'm gonna go for something ballsy, but not really.
Frennick chose Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Remakes release.
I really, really, really wanted Diamond Pearl Remake this year. The only thing that I think would happen to not have it be this year is a Gen 2 remake instead. Because they already have Kanto that they could put in.
That'd be so stupid. It'd be so stupid, dude. Just make the Gen 4 remakes. Just make them.
I've been wanting this for so long. I thought they would do it on 3DS. Then I thought it would be like launch Switch. But I legitimately believe, more so than I've ever believed, that it's gonna be 2021. I don't know.
Well, in a completely different turn,
Liam chose Ghostwire Tokyo release.
I think this is a lock. I was watching some footage of it. They have gameplay. This game's going to come out this year. I think it's an exclusive, isn't it? So if it's acclaimed, it's not.
It's PlayStation 5 and Windows. Because it was a
Okay.
Bethesda game at first. It's like Deathloop, where they're sticking with their like terms that they already have. Yeah, I think they said it's 2021. The only reason it's on here is because it doesn't have a month, and this is the kind of game where it's a new IP, so the scope is not defined yet. So they could be like, wait, let's make this bigger, or they could be like, wait, this is done. This is 100% happening.
Trenic chose new mainline Kirby game release.
HAL Laboratories made some sort of announcement, or like press related announcement, where they were talking about the next Kirby game in 2021. They really want it to be like a big one, like a special one. And so there's two categories, by the way. The little one is like those spin-offs, like Fighters, like the eShop games essentially. I would still consider like a full $60 like Epic Yarn or like 3D Kirby game a mainline game, just to be clear, so we're saying this now. But I think that's definitely coming out this year. It's been a long time since Star Allies. I think that was a year one game for Switch. So I don't think it takes that long to make a mainline Kirby game relative to other AAA games. And yeah, I think they've been hyping up a Kirby game for a while. And I think if they're launching new hardware, they might want to throw one on there.
Can we talk about how stupid this is?
Oh, new Ice Climber? What's wrong with that?
Dude, that's not going to happen. I guess clip me for saying that, but whatever.
In 4 years it'll happen and I'll look like a prophet. Look,
Whatever.
it's a whole year. So we'll get to Ice Climber in like 2 hours. But there's still like a negative % chance it'll happen, and if it did happen, it'll be here. Because you realize
Having like bonus
Nintendo...
points, I'm willing to put extra points because you're probably going to click that. I don't, unless I'm like, whatever.
Look. The extra points will be the views we'll get when people on 4chan go, insider info, new Ice Climber announcement.
Ready? This is my actual one.
Liam chose new Marvel vs. Capcom announcement.
We talked about this before. I feel like that's like a if there's a fighting game of like the big franchises that's gonna come out. I feel
Besides League of Legends. And
like
Guilty
you know what I mean. Established. I mean, Guilty Gear
King of
obviously, yeah,
Fighters.
that's coming out. I think announcement. I think Marvel vs. Capcom.
I predict this every year, and it never happens. And after seeing the Capcom leak and it not being anywhere on it, I think the dream is dead. I do think they'll put Marvel 2 on PlayStation, though, as like some sort of promotional thing, because of that one tweet.
When you say new, what if it's like a fully fleshed out remake?
It depends on how remade it is, I guess. Because if you're remaking a fighting game, you might as well add new characters, and then it might as well
I guess,
be a new game.
yeah.
So I don't know. I guess this is something where if they did do a full remake, and since there's no remake category for Marvel Capcom, if they do a fully remade Marvel 2 with like drawn sprites or like 3D models or even just sprites, like new updated sprites, I would give it to you probably, unless it's like a really close match. Then you don't get it.
What if every single character is voiced by Mark Ruffalo?
Well, that would be a D-make.
Trenic chose Dying Light 2 release.
This game already has a review apparently. Dying
Yeah,
Light 2.
I think that's a good one.
I don't know what this game is. I'll be honest. I just put it on
It's
there.
it's like a zombie survival game, but a lot of people like it. It's got an interesting like movement system.
Right.
It's like kind of
Well,
parkour.
GameStop gave it a 4.5 out of 5. So I think it's
I don't know how they. I
Wait,
don't know
it's
how they
already on PlayStation 4. Wait, its release date is June 30th, 2021. What is going on?
Dude, don't worry about it.
All right.
You click that.
It was supposed to be released Q3 of 2020, but due to COVID, more efforts were made to make the game perfect. I think there's
I
another
knew-
delay. It would stay in either Q4 of 20. Okay, it's definitely coming out next year.
I feel like this is gonna come out.
Liam chose Hogwarts Legacy release.
I kind of want it to come out, but I feel like it's gonna. This seems like they already had a lot of it.
Yeah, it has a pending release date of 2021, which probably means it's coming in next year.
I guess it could be delayed because they didn't like really show gameplay, but they did show like footage. They didn't just show like a still. So
Yeah,
like I don't
it's not
know.
an Engine situation.
I think it's gonna come out. I want it to come out if it's good.
Rennick chose Metal Gear Solid Remake announcement.
It could definitely be announced. I'll be honest, I don't know Blue Point. I'm assuming it'll be done by Blue Point. This has been in the rumor mill for a very, very long time. Konami wants to do something with the Metal Gear IP, but they're clearly too shitty at making games to actually do something with it. So it makes sense that they would license it out to another company, license a previously made good game to a company that's good at remaking good games to release a good game. That seems
Yeah.
like the smartest thing Konami's done maybe ever.
I think they could snake in an announcement.
Okay, shut up, bro.
I'm gonna click this.
Liam chose Cyberpunk multiplayer release.
They might have said it's
If they-
slated for
if-
2021.
If they promised it, I don't know anything about Cyberpunk. I haven't played it yet. I'm not gonna play it for a while, I think.
The thing is, though, even if they said 2021 with their track record, who knows?
Project Red games go on sale all the time too. So
That doesn't have anything to do
that's
with
not related to multiplayer, but I was saying it whenever I'm gonna play it.
Good for you. I might just snipe both of these.
Rennick chose Breath of the Wild sequel release.
Cover my options here. I think it's gonna
figured.
come out next year. I'm falling into the trap where I just can't stop like looking at the things I want and just clicking on the things I like. So I really, really want Breath of the Wild 2 to come out next year if it's ready. I think that team, if they're releasing it, that means it's ready. I don't want them to rush it, obviously, but they're working on the same engine as Breath of the Wild 1. They didn't have to spend all the time they spent the Black Myth game.
What? No, I was looking at. I didn't realize Project L was the League fighting game.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they already have the engine. They're trying to do a Majora's Mask thing where they've reused a lot of assets, which I'm totally fine with. And I think they've had a lot of time, and they're a very skilled developer.
Well,
So-
I think any like basically refining of Breath of the Wild's engine and stuff, like just taking what it did and then like enhancing that. I don't know why I'm like blanking on the word for it, but like they can do a lot with that, I feel like.
Yeah. It's also, if it comes out in March, it would have been 4 years since Breath of the Wild. And Zelda games
Holy
typically take 5 years. If it comes out in November, it'll be 4.5 years. So it doesn't seem completely out of the realm of possibility.
Liam chose Final Fantasy 16 release.
I think this is going to come out. I think
That's a
Final
solid
Fantasy
guess.
16 is going to come out because what 15's like 5 years old. 15's old.
Yeah, it is 2016. Although
So
they were making Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 7 in that time period.
I know. I think they're gonna continue. Okay, well, I guess this is kind of going into 7 realm, but I do think they're gonna have a lot of development towards 16, and I think they're still gonna do disc 2 for 7, but I don't know, dude. Maybe it's gonna take a year off, but I feel like it's so. I don't know. I'll have to play the remake before I like say anything about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think this game's further along than we think, though. It's
What 16 or 7?
16. Because it just got announced, we feel like Final Fantasy games get announced really, really far ahead of time. So maybe that's, and Square Enix games in general. So maybe that's a bad guesstimate, but that's just a feeling I have. Because they showed a lot of various shots.
I think it's a pretty solid one. Still.
Alright. Well.
Rennick chose Pokemon Sleep release.
I like how you put my letter in there.
They're making shitty bets for you.
I thought it was gonna come out this year. I totally
I-
forgot about it.
I want it so bad. I want to get better sleep.
Liam chose Overwatch 2 release.
I think Overwatch too.
Yeah, I was gonna put that out earlier, but people were saying it might be late 2021, and that to me is like, oh, maybe it's 2022.
That team works fast, and it seemed like they had a lot of it already like pretty much in the works when they initially announced it.
Yeah. Well, that game is
And then
really
when's
weird
BlizzCon?
because it's so hard to tell what the scope of it is. Like, is it
Mhm.
just Overwatch with some new? Because apparently it has backwards compatibility, like crossplay.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be out this year.
They said they would show gameplay at BlizzCon. I get news on it pretty soon in February, and then I could definitely see it coming out this year.
Okay.
The fact that they didn't go release date last year, or whenever they announced it, and since COVID happened, I was a little sus on it.
I just don't think I don't think it's gonna be that crazy. I think it seems like it's gonna be more in like the vein of like Street Fighter Champion Edition or like Arcade Edition or like
Yeah.
one of those like it's like an addendum onto the original.
Yeah.
Trenic chose Halo Infinite release.
I'm not saying it's gonna be good. I think it'll come out. I think they have to have it come out next year, just because they can't just delay them forever.
Liam chose Metroid Prime 4 gameplay.
I feel like this can go either way.
It's so
I-
hard
I-
because it was announced so long ago, but it restarted development and they're still hiring people. Like at the
Yeah,
very
this is
beginning
a-
of 2019.
This is a rough one. Maybe it's gonna be like a rough tech demo.
Well, they definitely had. So it's been by 2021. It'll have been over 2 years since they restarted with Retro. 2 years is typically like that's like for AAA games. That's like more. That's a pretty common. I feel like it's usually like 2.5 years is like the average. So it could come out next year, but I think Retro has so much pressure on them, and they've been hiring a lot, like even this year still. So
For development or for localization?
definitely not for localization. It's like they are hiring like boss AI and like artists and stuff.
Oh. Maybe gameplay. I think that's a kind of a
I could see
rough
like maybe we'll see Samus like turn into a ball, jump on the adventure remake train.
Trenic chose Sonic Adventure remake announcement.
Thank you for click. I wanted to grab that. That's the one I was talking about that I want that. That's like a game from when I was a kid that like I love and I think is such a shite game, but for some reason I love that game. I'm gonna do this.
Liam chose Pokemon Unite release.
I'm gonna take this after shitting on you. I feel like that's safe.
I feel like that's safe because dude, it's Riot, it's Tencent and Pokemon Company.
Yeah,
These
they'll
are not
crank
the
that
companies
shit like
that give a shit about quality control. They want a game every year. They want to put that out even if it's like runs at 5 frames per second on mobile.
Yeah.
It's not even coming to PC, so it's not even like I don't think they're gonna even try to make it good. I think they just want money. That's a good answer.
Trenic chose Elden Ring release.
This is what you were thinking.
No.
I think Elden Ring's coming out next year for sure.
Okay.
I think there were leaks that were saying it was going to come up at the beginning of 2021. I think it might come out towards the end. I think they're trying to do like a quick hype cycle like they did with Sekiro, where they announced and released it pretty quickly.
Uh-huh.
Or at least they
Okay,
showed
ready?
gameplay and released it pretty quickly.
I don't think you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Liam chose new Minecraft spin-off announcement.
Minecraft Racers
What? What's wrong with you? You really wrote that?
or Minecart. It's gonna be called one of the two.
Why? Don't say
Dude,
that. Just say Minecraft spin-off.
I'm telling you, that's what it's gonna be.
So
Mark my words.
are you doubling?
No, I'm
it?
not locking. I'm not
Okay.
doubling down on. I'm just saying, if I had to guess what the spinoff would be, it'd be a racer, and I genuinely don't think this like is going to happen. This is not a safe pick, but I feel like they did dungeons. They've done like other shit, haven't they?
Or they do a
World.
card game next.
They could do a card game. They could do.
Platformer.
There's a lot of things they could do,
Roguelike.
but
Cooking.
yeah,
Surgeon
I don't
Simulator.
know. I think maybe they'll do a racing game.
With who? The zombie?
Zombie,
Steve,
Enderman,
the 4
Steve,
Smash characters,
Alex.
Creeper. Banjo,
Skeleton, Villager, Illager.
Master Chief,
You can just be
the Arch
one of those.
Illager,
You can just be
Iron Golem,
one of those things that the pig.
Warden, Moblin, Goblins,
No, 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 not
Bombardment.
not the piglins. I'm talking about the things that are the illagers, the boars or whatever. You can just be one of those things.
Okay. Blaze, Wither. Alright.
Ender, big old ender dragon.
Well, the Ender
It'd be a
Dragon
dude
would
with an
be
Ender
like a
Dragon helmet.
vehicle. They would have like a
Oh, it would be.
maybe, or maybe it would be like a because they would have the end circuit where you drive around the stupid rods, and then the Ender Dragon would like lunge at you maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
What's yours?
Well, I don't think that's happening because Dungeons just came out, and I don't even know who made that. Probably Mojang, right? But
I think part of it was outsourced, but yeah.
It was made by Double 11. I have no idea. They made Rust, Goat Simulator, Prison Architect. They don't make games very often.
What the? Those
They're
are all
British.
so many games that are just all over the
They make
place.
PC games that are
The
fire.
closest two things are Rust and.
They might make more than
Goat
those
Simulator.
games, but because those games are very popular, they popped up first.
Oh, I guess. Okay.
They make a bunch of
What's
Rust.
your pick?
My pick is. See, the gameplay releasing is so sus because there's a lot of games that I think will get gameplay, but it's like if they release it, I'm giving you extra points, you know, if you choose to.
What is this?
What?
Oh, I'm just looking up what I think you're gonna click.
The one I'm on?
Yeah.
This game looks amazing. But here's what's wild about this game and why it's kind of hot. The last trailer that came out was December 2019. So this game dodged the entirety of 2020.
Oh, so you think it's gonna sneak its way
I think
into?
they're gonna come back with like a re-announcement because this game looked pretty far along. Like graphically, it looked really good, which doesn't necessarily mean it's far along, but they had like a lot. I don't know. It seems like because it's just a Japanese RPG. I don't think Tales of it does like it doesn't. It's not like Zelda where it reinvents itself quite often. It seems like a Dragon Quest situation where they're gonna improve the graphics and leave the gameplay pretty
Hey,
similar.
can I give you some bad news?
Huh.
Wait, unless I misread what I just saw. Where is it? 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 For Pragmata, do you have release or do you have gameplay?
Gameplay.
Okay, good, because it comes out next year. It's like confirmed that it comes out next year. Well,
Huh?
it says at the moment, it says launching 2022. So it already isn't gonna come out 2021.
No.
I just wanted to know. Okay.
I did enough research to know if a game is definitely not coming out next year or this year. But yeah, if it comes out 2022, maybe that's a good point, Liam.
Frenic chose Pragmata gameplay.
Maybe they will show gameplay this year.
Maybe.
Although it could get delayed to 2023 and they don't they just skip this year. So
No, they can still show gameplay. What is this? Who's developing this and what is even it? Like, I know it's dystopian, but I don't know like anything else about it.
what game?
Pragmata, the thing you just fucking
Capcom.
clicked. Oh, Capcom's making it. So okay, can I change this to gameplay? Because I honestly think gameplay is way more likely than release. I don't think it's gonna come out this year.
It is scheduled to be released in 2021.
Is it?
Liam chose God of War Ragnarok release.
Yeah, so they worked with the thing with
Fuck.
Ragnarok. Apparently they wrote the entire story at
Oh,
once and they
when-
split it into 2 games.
Oh, that's sick. That's
I
like so
think-
it's actually gonna have a cohesive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm basically telephoning information I got
They
between.
they didn't show any gameplay for it. That's the only reason why I say.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be on a new engine or anything. Oh, this is definitely happening. This is easy.
Frenic chose Cuphead Delicious Last Course release.
This was supposed to come out this year, I think. It's been coming out. That game is so old now.
Yeah. I didn't realize it wasn't out.
Yeah,
thought it
no.
was
They
already
announced
out.
that it would be delayed to 2021, like in December, when it was like pretty obvious that it was delayed. So I think they're probably almost done with it. It's more of like Microsoft probably trying to drop it on a good day.
Liam chose Shin Megami Tensei 5 release.
Oh, it's scheduled for release in early 2021. When was that? Did they give a year in this? Oh, it does. It says 2021 simultaneous worldwide release. Yeah, it'll probably come out. Wow. Alright, that was a snipe. This category's... This is like the Connect 4 moment where you have that... You have 6 points in one go. Alright, well, whatever, bro. Boom.
Trellick chose Hollow Knight Silk Song release.
New Hollow Knight game next year. Write it down. They just released a magazine, I think it's Edge, perhaps, where the cover of it is Silksong. So I think they're trying to hype up Silksong at the end here, because they dodged 2020 as well. People thought they were going to show it back in the end of 2019 in like an indie direct, and they dodged the entire year. But the game was pretty far along when we saw it before that. So I think it's coming out next year. There's a lot of time for them to drop it, you know. I think that's going to be a very good indie game.
I think this will be announced.
Liam chose new Arc System Works game that isn't a Dragon Ball Fighters sequel announcement.
So I just want to communicate that this, just by the way this cannot be Dragon Ball Fighters 2 because it has its own category.
Yeah, I assumed.
So
I assumed.
it can be a new BlazBlue game. It can be a new like JoJo game.
What would you want it to be?
Well, if it's not Fighters 2, I honestly I don't really care.
You wouldn't like a good JoJo fighting game?
JoJo would be cool. Honestly, I would rather them just combine all the animes into one game. But I don't know how hard that would be.
What do you mean?
I guess a Persona 5 fighting game would be cool. Like, you know how they have Jump Force and it's always bad? If they did One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball in one fighters game. The only problem with that is that you will never get obscure characters that everyone likes, like Tamari or Super Baby. You'd only get the main characters of each game until like 7 years later.
I mean, I would want a JoJo. I don't think JoJo's like popular enough.
I think it's popular now. Well, the thing is, JoJo hasn't had a game in a very long time. If there's part 6, here's the thing, if part 6 drops next year, I think that's when they announce the fighting game to like get hype. But I don't remember when part 5 came out, so I don't know the timing.
Came out 2 years ago.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they drop a Dragon Ball game every year. But I don't know if this year 2021's game would be Fighters 2 or if it would be like Xenoverse or Kakarot type game.
Do you really think Fighters 2 is just going to be a whole new game?
No. It would be like
another, like an addendum, like what I was saying for like Overwatch.
I don't know. I think it could be. They might use like Strive's engine and like port a bunch of, like bring over a lot of stuff.
Have
rollback, which is like necessary, and then like have maybe some more costumes. Definitely, it needs more stages. I feel like just the reason I want Fighters 2 so badly is because they have no other excuse to add like a stage pass, and I'm just so annoyed by looking at the same like 7 areas. I think they'll. Oh wait. I don't know how legal I'm allowed to retract points. I didn't realize I only have a release for a Fire Emblem remake. So I was gonna say they might announce it and then drop it at the beginning of next year. You know what? Yeah.
Trellick chose Fire Emblem remake release.
Three Houses came out when? 2018? I mean, they stopped doing DLC for Three Houses early 2019. So I don't know. I think what's gonna happen, honestly, I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna be announced at the end of the year and then come out in like February of 2022. But I don't have an announcement category for this, so I'm just screwing myself.
Liam chose Monster Hunter World sequel / Monster Hunter 6 announcement.
I think Monster Hunter World 2 or Monster Hunter 6. I don't think it's gonna come out, but I think it's gonna be announced.
Do you want me to link you the leaks?
Yeah, You can if you can send a picture of it. I don't really feel like clicking on anything.
Well, Monster Hunter 6, which would be World 2, is slated for 2023.
I don't care. I'm sending.
Alright, alright. I'll go with GTA announcement.
Frenic chose Grand Theft Auto 6 announcement.
Ooh.
I think they're gonna announce it by now. I mean, that's like the one game they're working on. I think they're working, aside from GTA Online, I think they're working on that primarily. I don't remember how
Unless
long
they have a new
before.
IP,
I don't think they
or if
want.
they're doing Bully.
I think they want
but I
more
don't.
Grand Theft money.
I don't.
I read
I
an
don't think they're
article that said that they're giving up on Bully, and they
Yeah,
gave
I
up
don't
on
think-
Bully by the time Red Dead 2 was like really cooking, apparently,
I don't
and
think
GTA
Bully.
6.
I mean, I would want GTA 6 to be announced. I hope they actually like do some big changes to their formula. But
I think they'll announce it. They might not even show gameplay, but they'll do a logo, I think, this year.
fuck it.
Liam chose Street Fighter 6 official formal announcement.
I mean, hasn't it been like rumored for a while?
Yeah, so the thing with this is that we know it's happening. And Ono has like talked about it multiple times. It's officially. So we literally know this is in development because of Ono and because of the Capcom leaks. We know about Street Fighter 6, we know about Super Street Fighter 6, and we know about Ultra Street Fighter 6.
What the what?
Yeah.
Super Ultra? What is all that?
Street Fighter 6 is 2022. Super Street Fighter 6 is 2023, and then Ultra Street Fighter 6 is 2024.
The fuck is the difference?
They're adding it's like Arcade Edition and
Oh, okay.
Champion Edition.
Okay. What's your go? You gonna pick the other formal announcement?
Does Riot have like a convention or like a direct thing they do? Or do
I
they
don't
just
know.
drop news randomly?
I think they just drop.
Because they usually drop it in like sets. Because I remember they announced Valorant and Project L like one after another. I don't know. It depends on how far along they are with the MMO. Because,
I'm gonna be real. If you don't pick it, I'm gonna pick it.
alright, I probably won't. Alright. I think they'll do Dragon Quest 12.
Frenic chose Dragon Quest 12 announcement. Liam chose League of Legends MMO official formal announcement.
Announcement. And then you think
Okay.
they'll announce the LoL MMO.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's pretty. I mean, I just think they're trying to do a lot more of a wide spectrum of things. So I
Yeah,
think
no,
just
they're
gonna
they're
more, like,
releasing a bunch of stuff. I just don't think that is far along enough for them to formally announce it. But they might do it just alongside like news of the fighting game and like Valorant updates and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
Frenic chose Dragon Quest 3 remake announcement.
And I'm just
Are you doubling?
I'm
I
doubling. I'm going
assume.
for both just so I have peace of mind. I get the Dragon Quest points next year.
What if it's neither? What if it's a Dragon Quest IV remake?
Well, then I'm going to throw something.
Liam chose Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 release.
Do you think it's coming out?
No. I want it to though.
Okay.
Because okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Ready? They were more prepared to do Final Fantasy Remake on the PlayStation 5 than the PlayStation 4. But they were like, well, if we're going to separate it, maybe we can just like kind of skimp out and do the PS4 release for the remake. And like 2 is going to be like it's a lot easier for us to actually run it and we don't have to do as much crazy shit. And it's like I think they're further along in it than we think. That's my hypothetical.
Alright.
That's the situation that would allow for this to come out this year.
Alright. Well, damn, that's crazy. If it did come out and I chose gameplay now, you would get more points. I don't think they'll do 2 Final Fantasies in 1 year. Have they ever done that before?
Maybe not mainline.
They might have done a remake, but there's never been a remake like 7 before. I guess, yeah, non-mainline stuff, because they used to have a bunch of Final Fantasy franchises.
Crystal, whatever bullshit.
Maybe. I don't know. Cause like if I was Square and I was releasing 16 in 2021, and we had nothing for 2022, I would be like, hey, let's just put Final Fantasy VII in 2022. Give it some more time to cook, or even just work on part 3 while we wait. I don't know. I think we will definitely see gameplay, right? I'm putting in gameplay. We'll definitely see.
Maybe a tactics game.
I'll call you before doing the square section next year.
I think this is gonna happen because I think they were supposed to announce the game when Sam Fisher was in Rainbow Six. I think it didn't get announced because it wasn't far enough ahead. I think it's gonna be formally announced next year because I
Yeah.
think they're trying to make a return to this franchise because it's been kind of on the back burner for a very long time.
I have the exact same mindset. I think like they're clearly telegraphing Splinter Cell really really hard, and I think that they're definitely they have one that they're working on right now, and they're pushing whatever his name is. I already forgot. John
Sam
Splinter.
Fisher.
I have never played a Splinter Cell, but I keep seeing people talk about it and how they want it.
I mean it's kind of like Metal Gear, I guess.
All right. I think a new Kojima game is gonna get announced next year.
I was thinking about that one. I was looking at that one for a while, and I don't know. It could be. I feel like doesn't he want to do a movie?
Yeah, that's the only reason why I think it might. I think he'll definitely announce a new project next year because he's just had Death Stranding out for a long time, and I think he wants to start like getting people excited for things.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think he can't do both because now that his like development team is like more established, he can
Yeah.
start moving into movies.
And was Death Stranding successful? Did it make a lot of money?
I feel like it did. He flexes that it was an indie game that did really well, right? So like probably for whatever budget he was on with Sony. I have no idea. I'll be honest, actually.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's possible. I feel like it could be. I think whatever he's doing is going to be announced this year, but I don't know if it's going to be a game. Yeah. Okay. I'm clicking this one now. I think they're going to do the Zelda Anniversary Collection because they did it with Mario and they've done it before on the GameCube, and I just feel like it's going to be. They could. We were even talking about they could do two. They could do like Ocarina. What was it? It's like Ocarina, Twilight, and Skyward, and then
There's like a million combinations. That's why this one's kind of free because I just put the abstract idea. I thought about doing like different versions, but it just was like impossible to
that
list
would have
out.
taken up. That would have taken
Yeah.
up a lot of space.
So I put up a lot of stuff on ports because we don't even know if this would include the remakes or the originals because Nintendo's likes to be stingy. They could very easily do both the remakes and the originals, but they won't. I think we both agree that they won't do that.
They'll either
Because
do
of-
the originals or they'll do remakes.
yeah, but
And with after seeing what they did with 64, Sunshine and Galaxy, like they easily could have just done. Couldn't they easily have just done like 64 from the DS?
yeah, they could have just thrown in the ROM, honestly.
So like I feel like they're gonna go one way or the other. Personally, I want the Twilight Princess, Skyward Ocarina one the most. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't think they'd include Skyward Sword. I mean, now we're just getting into just there's
Fine
no
details.
reason to talk about this, but Skyward Sword's literally right under Zelda because I think they're gonna bring that one separate. Because depending on how the anniversary one will be, I think Skyward Sword is like it's new enough and it hasn't been brought back, so they're gonna know that they can sell it for 60 on its own.
Um, I guess I'll double down.
What do you mean you're doubling down? I haven't went yet.
Oh shit! I thought you. Never mind. I'm stupid.
Yeah, I mean, if you did double down, you'd definitely get a point, I think, between those two. Unless they go with an Oracle game remake. I think Psychonauts 2 is going to come out.
I think that's
I think it's
possible.
slated for 2021, anyways.
Now I'm picking my announcement. Skyward Sword, doubling down.
Yeah. So you currently have Skyward Sword and Zelda Anniversary Collection marked.
Yeah.
I think we're both under the assumption that one would definitely happen between the two.
Yes.
So you're just guaranteeing at least 3 points, maybe even 6.
Do they have to be separate? Obviously, they would be separate.
Um,
If they do a Skyward Sword HD remake and it's in the Anniversary Collection.
so the way this is designed, right? So if I picked Skyward Sword HD and you picked the Anniversary Collection, but Skyward Sword was in the Anniversary Collection, I don't think I would get a point because this is under the assumption that this is like a $60 game that they're putting on
It's a
eShop.
one. Okay. I get it then.
It could fall into the next year. I think there will be like a Switch exclusive Resident Evil game next year.
I just looked at this leak. If
Wait, is
coming
Dragon
out
Dogma?
if it's coming out in 2022, then I feel like it's probably announced.
Oh, I didn't even realize that said announcement. Damn, you sniped that. The game will supposedly be out for release in quarter 3 of 2021. Oh. Alright, well, that seems pretty good pick. Alright, I think a new Ace Attorney will be announced in
I think
2021.
RE4. I think the RE4 remake's gonna be announced.
That's definitely a good guess. I don't think either
I
of
think
us
that
think
one.
it'll come
I think
out.
that was
but
more. I think that was more free than we gave it credit. The announcement. I think because okay, RE2. It was announced in 2015. They showed gameplay in 2018. So it was announced in 15, gameplay 18, then released 2019. RE3 came really fast after. They're probably going to use the same engine because their engine, they really like it.
Well, RE3 and
And
RE2 were developed like side by side.
so, dude, I think I think it'll be announced. I don't know if it'd come out,
It
but I feel like
definitely will, but well, I mean, to be fair, you said Resident Evil 2 was confirmed in development in 2015, and then it came out in, was it 2019? When did Resident Evil 2 come out?
yeah, 2019. I said
So
it.
that
RE4
is a
is definitely gonna be-
4-year turnaround time.
I think it's definitely going to be announced. That's such a hyped up one too. That's probably going to be more hyped than 2. That's like the one everyone knows about.
Perhaps. The thing is, if Village is already coming out that year, and then they're releasing Outrage, you want to burn people out on Resident Evil. I think this is kind of off the wall, but
Is that what you want to happen?
it's an announcement, right? So that's enough to be like when they drop Gogeta, which is the last character in Fighters, at least for this season. They drop it, and we'll know whether they're making another season after that, or if they stop, and they might even say like, all right, we're done producing content for Dragon Ball Fighters. We're starting to work on a sequel or something. They probably won't
Okay.
say that, but they might. They might. Just knocking off the Capcom
I'm
leak.
just doing the Capcom leak at this point. I mean, I feel like I could have some reasoning for it. I didn't realize there were so many Final Fight characters in Street Fighter.
Yeah. So I guess
So
that's
my
good reasoning. Although this season might not have any. It's all classic Street Fighter characters and then one Rival Schools character. So there's Oro from 3. And then I think there's still a secret one. Yeah. So it's Dan, Rose, Oro, and Akira from
Where
Rival
do you
Schools.
see this?
They announced this really early this year, or in August. There's one we don't know about, but that one's either going to be Elena or
Is that is
Makoto,
it season
probably.
5?
Yeah, this is season 5.
Okay.
They're going all the way till fall of 2021 too,
Dan.
but I doubt it, because the only Final
Okay.
Fight characters left are like Hagar and Guy.
That's a good one if you
The
pick
thing
one
about the
you're
trilogy is that it's Nintendo. So this doesn't count if it's the same exact trilogy on the Wii, because that's a port. This would have to have new textures and gyro controls.
or at the very least like some new content.
Yeah. Because it would have to be called like Prime Trilogy HD or like Anniversary Trilogy. If it's literally the Wii game ported, it doesn't count. Which maybe I
Okay.
should clarify by saying like Prime Trilogy HD. And there's not enough space, but
Okay.
but I don't think they'll do that. I think Nintendo's so lazy with old games. I do think we'll get a new little game though. Because I mean this year was like a very quiet Nintendo year, but we got Good Job and we got the 57 pickup game collection of chess. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
there'll
just
definitely be a
doubling
new little
down on
game.
the Bayo. I'm just doubling down on the Bayo with this one, just to. I think gameplay is like a lock,
Yeah.
but
I
it's
didn't want to
okay.
put gameplay because
I was already picking release, and you think
yeah.
release is probably likely.
I think if they show gameplay, they'll probably release it. Just with how they've been so quiet, I think they're in no rush to show gameplay if they're not releasing it right after. I think we'll see more Project L gameplay. I don't think it's gonna come out because
You don't think it's gonna come out?
even this year they really want to spend a lot of time with it, and I think that's a good plan because a lot of fighting games have come out with like really skimpy rosters and even bad netcode. I think this game will obviously have amazing netcode because it's Tom Cannon, but I think they really want the game to come out because League is known for having a lot of characters too. The character select has a scroll bar, which Smash doesn't even have. I think they'll show gameplay to keep people excited. I just don't think it'll come out because they want it to have like a lot of content, single player stuff. They want it to be like the ultimate fighting game when it comes out, I think.
Let me give my reasoning for why I don't think this is gonna happen. Sometimes with early access games, they will be in early access for like multiple years. Could it possibly release next year? Yeah, but like this is a gamble. Like this is legitimate. Like we'll look back at this next year and we'll see like, okay,
We'll be like, did it come out?
did it come out?
This is pretty likely too. Axiom Verge 2. It
I
was
I was gonna
announced.
pick that next.
It was announced in 2019. It was in our situation where a lot of games were announced in 2019 and didn't even appear in 2020. I think a lot of people went silent to try to. Well, this is an indie game, so I don't even know if COVID would affect it that much. Because one guy doesn't need to like communicate with people, so he's probably working on it really, really hard. And I mean, he has a whole year to release it. I don't even know if we have gameplay of this game. I really forgot, but I don't need to go.
Ready?
Yeah, go. That's a good one.
No gameplay, no release. Obviously, I just think they're gonna announce it.
Because Miles Morales would have been out for a very long time by
They said
E3
Miles
or by-
Morales was literally like, they honest to God probably could have just done it as DLC. I mean, with the price point it's at though, it's only $50, and it is a game, but it's $50.
That's a $20 off AAA game. Yeah, I actually could see that because I forgot Miles Morales came out. And by E3 or by like one of Sony's big events, they'll probably definitely at least tease it for sure.
Because it did so well.
We know they're working on it, I'm pretty sure. We'll definitely see Virtua Fighter gameplay, I think, because this was announced at TGS this year. And we just saw Akira, I think his back. So I think we'll see gameplay at Evo maybe,
Hmm.
or maybe TGS again. We might see gameplay. Dude, I actually think that's getting canceled next year, but I put it up because it's just been around for so long. I mean, I feel like it's gonna get canceled or released next year. I can't imagine Ubisoft is putting all this money
It's
into
been
developing
talked
it
into
every
forever,
single.
hasn't it?
It's the thing is, it's had so many trailers, but it's never had a gameplay trailer. It's like, I don't even know. I don't think there's ever been a game that's had so many CG trailers and then zero info on how the game will play. And then it's also called Beyond Good and Evil 2, but it's a prequel, which is crazy. Um, yeah. The thing with Platinum games, right, is it's reasonable to assume that we'll get GG gameplay since they announced it. And they announced it at the beginning of this year, pretty early this year, relatively. And then didn't say anything about it. And then by the end of next year, it'll be like almost a full 2 years. But I mean, that's exactly what they did with Bayo. So I wouldn't be surprised if they announce it and don't talk about it. Yeah, I'll just fucking put a P. What?
Diablo 4, it's got to be this year.
No,
It's been like meme to hell that like
it's getting premium though because they announce it and show gameplay and then they're like, oh, this is 4 years out. So I don't think they're gonna show more gameplay until it's like actually. I don't know. I mean, what else are they gonna talk about at BlizzCon? I guess.
Overwatch 2.
Overwatch and then Hearthstone. Do they make new
WoW,
cards?
WoW expansion.
Well, they just released a WoW expansion.
They like to just straight up announce the next one sometimes,
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Oh, and then there's like classic stuff, right? Don't people want new classic?
Oh yeah, no, there's like a Burning Crusade thing that's coming into it or something, or Burning Crusade itself is going into classic.
You think it's coming out?
I just feel like I've heard it talked about a lot.
Yeah, well, they announced it in what? The 2019 EVO.
You're gonna really
What are you
contest
doing? Are
it?
you Googling it? They came out with a video a week or two ago where they showed the logo and then they showed drawings of 3 characters. So they don't even have gameplay prepared. Or at least they don't want to show off gameplay. I don't recall if Samurai Showdown had rollback, but I know Garou does when they re-released it. So they could spend a lot of time doing that. I don't know if it'll come out next year. It could, but I think we'll see like a big gameplay trailer at EVO, and then it might come out at the beginning of the year after. It's like a 50-50, I suppose. Talk about Tales of Arise a little bit. It went silent this year, but it's a big game, and it's a pretty game. And it's one of Namco's mains, you know. Metro 1 and 2 remake. That's pretty good because, right, they did it with Crash, they did it with Spyro. Everybody's looking at Banjo right now
Yeah.
to be remade. It's probably even more like beloved. I don't know. Maybe not, but it has so much nostalgia around it. And you see the devs were tweeting about it, like the OG Banjo devs. They were
No, I
like, oh
didn't.
man, I really wish they would remake Banjo like Crash. So I wouldn't be surprised if they announced it anyways, because Microsoft has been announcing a lot of games, and they have the money.
And they definitely have the money.
I'll snipe the Persona 3 remake. I'm pretty sure there's a big anniversary for Persona next year, and Atlas was talking about a Persona announcement. I don't think it'll be 6, and I don't really think it'll be another arena game, because I think they would have done that by now. And people have just been talking about Persona 3 remake. But I hope they remake 3.
I feel like the last Rayman game was what, Rayman Legends? They're probably gonna make a new one.
Yeah. I just feel weird about Ubisoft, because they
Ubisoft
really don't give a
pumps
shit
stuff
about
out,
Rayman.
man. They pump stuff out.
But they stopped doing Rayman. You know what I should have put on here? I should have put Ubisoft Nintendo collab, because, you know, the last one they did was Rabbids and kind of Star Fox, and then they kind of stopped for a while. So they could do, like, since there hasn't been a Rabbids game in a while, they might be working on a Rabbids Mario 2. But
Yeah, they could
it
be.
didn't make the cut. Instead, we got new Pac-Man.
Did you ever play one of those 3D Pac-Man games?
No. I've only
They
played
suck.
Pac-Man and Pac-Man Champion Edition.
Is it my turn? No, it's your turn.
Oh, cheater. Actual cheater.
Dude, didn't you like make a plan while I was doing that?
Alright.
What is
Actually,
this?
like,
I don't even know what this is.
Babylon's Fall. This is gonna be one of the coolest games ever. This is Square Enix and Platinum, essentially the developers of Nier Automata. New IP. It was teased a very long time ago. It had a bunch of trailers in 2019, and it ditched 2020. So it could come out this year, but I also am curious about how far they are in development actually, because a lot of the trailers have been odd. But we've seen a lot of gameplay for it, so I don't know. I think we'll 100% see gameplay next year. They have the engine from Link's Awakening, and a lot of people haven't played those games.
The Oracle of Seasons in Time are really good. I remember playing them. I played like the remake on the Game Boy Advance because they like took it. It was on the Color, right?
It was on both.
Yeah, no, it was on the Color, and then it got ported to the GBA.
Yeah. Well, I haven't played it at all. It's I think it might be the only Zelda game I haven't played at this point. Although
I remember you could go in a kangaroo. And I thought it was sick.
I don't remember how well Link's Awakening sold. Although
I didn't play it. I didn't get Link's Awakening.
it's kind of a scam, so I probably wouldn't get this if it came out at 60 again.
It was $60.
Yeah.
Isn't it even not that long?
It's not very long. Even if you 100% it, it's like really quick. I'm not sure why it was $60 TBH. Yeah.
Okay, what's your pick? Let's see it.
I actually now think this game might come out next year just because we've
You
seen
just
so much
you
gameplay.
just changed heart.
We've seen so much gameplay for it. Like in-engine stuff. And then regardless, we didn't see it at all this year, so it might be really coming along, maybe. Or maybe they're everyone's quiet because they're porting the new consoles. Who knows?
Sorry, hold up. So let's see. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick this. I don't think it's gonna happen, but a Mario Kart 9. I don't think it's gonna happen, but you know, who
Imagine
knows?
if they made a Switch Pro exclusive or something though. Yeah, I don't know. People rumor this a lot, so I put it in. But I don't know how two Mario Karts on one console would work. Because 8 has so much content already, and it has good graphics, pretty cutting edge still.
Yeah, I I wish they would have just done DLC for Mario Kart 8. I don't get why they couldn't like support that game. They have a Nintendo just doesn't support games that they like put out. Like Mario Party is like the best example. The game was just not supported.
Yeah.
Just a skeleton. It seemed like it was like they were just rushed to put it out. It has like no life in it. It feels like. What's your pick?
Oddity will probably come out, right? Although that's like a
Is that
trap
that
category.
stupid ass?
Don't say call it stupid.
I hate it, dude. I don't get the hype.
Are we talking about the same game? This
Fucking
game.
Edward's Odyssey or whatever.
No, this is Mother 4.
Oh, Oddity.
This is the rebranding, so Nintendo won't kill me.
Oh, dude. Oh my god. That's so. Oh no. Okay, that seems hype. No, I thought you were talking about that Ed's World Odyssey shit. And I was
don't
like,
know
dude,
what
I
that
don't
is.
give a fuck about that stupid game, the Lemmings game.
Oh. I don't even know what that is. I can't even Google
Yes,
it.
you do. You know exactly. It's Odd World.
You said Ed's World, who's a like some
Abe's
internet
Odyssey.
character.
Abe's Odyssey. Odd World, and then it's the new one, Soulstorm. Dude, I don't give a fuck about that
You
stupid
almost
game, and they
pissed
show
off
it every
so many
single.
Mother fans. You were
Oh
like,
no, dude.
screw Oddity, Mother's so cringe. Oh man. Is it that
Okay.
Undertale game?
Is it my go?
The thing about Oddity, I want to talk about this real quick. The Mother 4 like concept, this like Travis and Meryl game, has been in development since 2010. So if it comes out next year, that'll be an 11-year dev cycle, which is pretty in character for a Mother game, to be fair. But I'm still. It just seems cursed to put a bet on it, even though it looks finished and it looks fine. It's looked fine for like 5 years now. So, yeah. There's something cursed about putting a letter by Oddity, but you can go.
This would be sick. Tekken X Street Fighter.
You know the backstory with this game?
I mean, somewhat. I think you were telling me a little bit. You can just talk about it.
So the first so there were two crossover games being worked on. So Street Fighter team were working on Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which actually did come out. But it was like really panned for a few reasons I don't really remember. I think the main one was this was one of the first times that people data mined a game and found on disc DLC characters, and people got really mad about that. And then also the gameplay was like really like timeout enabled or something. Like you could time out people really easily apparently. So that was like the 2D Tekken Cross Street Fighter game. And then, but the Tekken Namco team was going to make a Tekken Cross Street Fighter game, but I think they bailed when the PR and the sales were so bad for Tekken Cross Street Fighter, or for Street Fighter Cross Tekken. But then, it's still apparently a possibility, I guess. Some people think.
I feel like nowadays it's possible as long as it's executed well and has rollback. You know what I mean? Because like I'm assuming it'd be in 3D, right? It'd be
Yeah,
a 3D
a 3D game.
And Akuma works really well in Tekken. He's really fun. I was playing him, and I feel like there's a lot of like Street Fighter characters that could be cool to play in Tekken.
Him and that would be fucking stupid in that game. But yeah, it's a good pick. That's definitely a wild card that could show up any year. 50-50 on Avowed because we saw like I think what was a CG trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now that was before they owned the Elder Scrolls IP. And it was basically like we have the Elder Scrolls here at Xbox. So I think there's still going to be two separate games because Elder Scrolls is so far out, and I think Obsidian wants to do their own thing, and they don't want to be. Hello?
Are you Iron Manning?
No, we're doing a bet with stupid gambling thing here. I could share my screen.
I'm not
So
gonna watch. I'm in the car.
Oh yeah, you could not look at this in the car.
Yeah, I'm sure I can.
all right. But I'll explain to you exactly what we're doing. All right.
Did you
Okay.
pick something? Oh, you picked Avowed.
Yeah, I picked Avowed. But let me explain to Weasel Duke what we're doing so he doesn't get really, really confused by what we're talking about. So, you know how on December 31st, like towards the end of the day, like the year changes?
Sure.
Yes, so
You said that really weird, but yes.
yeah. So like in the next year, there's gonna be like games coming out, you know?
Yes.
So we're basically, I wrote down every possible game like I could possibly think of being like announced or released or like gameplay being
You're
shown.
such a fucking nerd.
And so it's literally every possible. So we've pretty much nailed out all like the likely ones, and now we're like divvying off. We have like Half-Life 3 and like a new Pac-Man game, and then like a new Ice Climbers game. Like every pretty much every possible stupid thing that could happen, and then we're
Hang on. I gotta deliver a pizza.
yeah, do that.
I get it though. I get what you're doing, and then you're picking, and then
We're taking
whoever gets.
turns, and then at the end of the year next year, we'll tally up
Oh,
points to
okay.
see who got everything right. All right.
Okay, my pick.
Yeah. You go.
I feel like this is the exact. We were talking about this yesterday. The WarioWare or Wario Land game, like a total weird kind of like low key 2021 Nintendo game in the same vein of like you know how there's that Yoshi game. Was that this year?
Crafted World? Because they announced it really early, but then it
I
came
think
out
it was.
later.
I think it was
It
2019.
was 2019.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be that kind of like low key game
So you think it's
that
gonna
could
be
maybe
trash?
be announced.
'Cause you
I
said
didn't
it would
say
be like
that.
the Yoshi game. That was terrible.
Well, I'm just saying it's just one of those low key games. I'm not saying anything. But that's my reasoning for it. You
Yeah.
pick your
Well, here's
option,
what's
you
smart about
douchebag.
this. Here's what's smart about this is that originally I had WarioWare and WarioWare, yeah, on uh, two different options. Jesus. And I combined them. Not
You're
because
gonna edit this. You're gonna edit this, and it's just gonna be you like not going. It's gonna go from you options.
I
It's just
don't know
gonna
if it's
cut-
possible for me to edit that in a smooth way, but
It's not. It would be really funny.
I had WarioWare and Wario Land on separate slots, and then I remembered that the Oracle games could be remade, so I shifted everything around so I could still have two Nintendo rows, and I just combined WarioWare and Wario Land. So you're getting bang for your buck on that slot, is essentially what I'm saying. Because they could do Wario Land, which I think is less likely, and they could do WarioWare, which I think we both think is like something they could just totally throw on the Switch. This is one of those situations where if it was a port that was like natively built into the Switch with like a couple new mini games, like you could call it a new game. Because a lot of WarioWare games are like recycled micro games, but I think everyone's okay with that. 'Cause they're
If
always
this
fun.
was if we were talking about the Switch launch, I would put so much money on this because it's the perfect game to like tech demo the Switch.
Yeah, it's really surprising that it wasn't there with like the HD Rumble stuff and like the touch screen and everything. There's so
Yeah.
many cool games you
They
could
did
make
like
with
the
it.
there was the 1-2 Switch, which was like the weird tech demo-y.
Yeah, which I think we talked enough about really terrible Nintendo games.
Yeah. Okay. So your pick.
Well, I have the smartest pick, I think. So, I mean, somebody's got to do this one. Mario Odyssey 2
Yeah.
announcement. I don't
Okay.
think it's necessarily going to happen, but if they're trying to do like a Switch launch 2.0 with Breath of the Wild 2, they got to bring in Odyssey 2, and then, oh man, I shouldn't have done an announcement because it'll probably release the same. Okay, whatever. Should I change it? You know what? Frick it, man. It's coming out this year. Yeah. They have the engine that's already good. They've done this before on the Wii, where they took the Galaxy engine, they did it again, and they had time to do it because the Wii lasted so long. And they really did it with Mario Land 2, or Mario 3D Land, because they recycled a lot of that game's identity into 3D World and more.
I like how you just sent it. You said release.
Yeah, because ultimately, I don't think they will announce it and release it the next year for Mario, because they like to do this thing like Paper Mario and with Mario Odyssey 1 and with Mario Party, where they announce and release it that same year. So, with the exception of 3D World, but that was like it was still like the same physical year, as they say. So, I think putting bets on announcement without having release is just sacrificing points. You know, but
Ready for this?
go.
I'm gonna put some marbles into this race. I think it's gonna be released. I think Project L is gonna be released. Valorant came out so fast.
But those are
It
different
came out
games.
so fast, dude. They have
Valorant popped
infinite
out
money.
with like
Riot has
8
infinite money.
characters.
Dude, Riot has so much
You can't
money.
launch a fighting game with that few content.
Are you gonna
People
tell
expect-
Riot they can't do what they want to do, dude?
Yeah, I'll tell Tom Cannon because he really, really cares about this kind of thing. I don't think it's coming
Well,
out for a long time.
I just want to have my marbles in the
I guess it depends on how they go about it because Valorant wasn't a League spin-off. Project L is a League spin-off, and I think people are going to get mad if they can't play as Teemo or Captain
Dude, how the fuck
Fortune.
that's a whole nother video of how like these champs would fucking play. That's like we need to like actually see more of like Project L.
That game is gonna do so well though.
I
I'm
hope
actually
it's
excited
sick.
for that too. Even though I don't really play League, I'm excited to learn the characters. But that's for another time. That's gonna be a good game. Alright. I'm throwing it all up. This is going to be the year of Hytale. This is people are gonna say Cliffs and Caves is amazing, right? Because that's the big Minecraft update that year. They're gonna say this is the greatest Minecraft update of all time, and then Hytale's gonna come out, and you know what's gonna happen? This game sucks. Let's go back to
See ya.
Minecraft. Minecraft's still better, but we'll actually see. I'm not gonna actually say that before it comes out because it is doing a lot of really interesting stuff. Especially with like the content creation side, there's like a lot of modding tools that they're shipping with the game, which look really cool. But I'm still a little sus on it. But I think they will launch it because there's no reason not to. If you think about it, parallel with Minecraft, Minecraft didn't come out with iron golems in it, you know? It came out with nothing. It's the king of the updating your game model. I don't understand why they wouldn't just release Hytale the way it is unless it was really buggy the way it is.
I think we're gonna get a new Concerned Ape game. They still do support Stardew, but I think they've been wanting to put a new thing out.
They said to not expect anything soon because, I mean, they're working on Stardew still. Like, Stardew actually had a really big patch recently, apparently.
You don't have... No, wait. What's the... FNAF... What's the new game that's coming? Security Breach? Is it like a... Do you think it's... Do you think it's
It's a horror game.
Do you think it's
right?
like a first person?
Well, it's clearly 3D, like, finally.
It
has ray tracing. What the frick?
It looks kind of sick.
Why is it ray traced?
Why is that on here?
Why is that not on here? Because I forgot it existed.
Wow, lame. Okay,
I go by devs, okay? I go by devs and then
pick?
like indie games that pop into my head.
Can you just pick one now?
Alright.
We need to get off of this.
Man, if Tales of Arise came out next year, that would be the coolest year ever. So it's pretty 50-50 whether it's August or like quarter one. But I don't think it's coming on August. I think we'd know it was coming on August by now. So I think this is a dud. This is a red herring. Maybe. I guess it's a 50-50 though.
Thank you for breaking down the answer you're not going to choose.
Oh, I mean,
I'm messing with you.
It's
alright,
almost.
there's going to be a new Sonic Mania game. I don't know what Christian Whitehead is working on, but I think if he was like fired or something, he would have made a new game or something by now. I don't know. They're probably working on a new Mania. That game did really well. It reviewed really well, you know.